All right, let's get started. For those that don't know me, my name is Gabbi RJ. I've been with Monat since January of 2018, so I'm coming up on my 2 years. And I am AED. I just hit last month. Yay! I'm super excited. I'm super proud of it. And getting to this point, I think that recruiting has been obviously a cornerstone of my business. So we want to come to you guys today and give some tips and tricks that we do. This is my boyfriend, RJ.
And I've been with her since day one, since she signed up. When I came home from the oil field, all dirty and everything, she's like, I signed up for this business, $300. And I was like, I never thought I would retire just 10 months later. It's pretty crazy.
So true. Yeah, he doesn't work. He hasn't worked for a year. He worked in the oil field before this. And I was studying for my CPA, and I was working as a waitress and then doing Monat. And he kind of allowed me that freedom when he was working all those crazy hours, 100 hours a week, making lots of money. And now we kind of roles are reverse. I'm the one that's working crazy hours, but nothing near as hard as what he was doing in the oil field. So we've been able to live our life the way we want to live it, with freedom. And I think that's what's most important when you're young and in your 20s. So yeah, let's get started. If you guys have any questions, I actually really love when you guys ask questions, because it helps us we can go off on lots of different things, but it kind of helps us stay on topic. So feel free to ask those. Hopefully we can see them. I know that the chat will be kind of blowing up, but also just give us some hype in that chat. We want to see you guys getting involved with this too. And then at the end too, we'll open up for all questions, and we would love to answer anything you guys have. We have a full hour tonight if we want to use it all. So the first thing I just want to say is I feel like a lot of times people in this business, we forget about the network part of network marketing. A lot of girls come into this business and they expect to just be able to, use their market that they have now. Network marketing means you are networking always. And so the cornerstone of our business is bringing people into the business. Yes, I'm recording. Can you guys see that it's recording? Yeah, perfect. Okay. The cornerstone of our business is recruiting and bringing people into the business. And a lot of people feel like scammy about that, or they feel uncomfortable, and you have to get comfortable with it. You have to know that what you're providing for people is a life-changing opportunity. And I really want to say that first coming out of this. To me at this point in my business, and pretty much how I've been so confident in talking to people, is I know that this can change their lives because it's changing mine. Look at him. He doesn't work. That's crazy, and we really do live our best life. We went to South America for a whole month in March, and I worked the whole time. And so I just think that when I talk to people about this, even before I had all of those things, I knew that it was going to get me somewhere. From the very first day when I was listening to calls of Jackie, and she would say crazy stuff like, you guys, this is the most crazy opportunity ever. We're all going to kick ass, blah, blah. She'd be all this hype. And ever since then, I knew that it could do something for me. And so I think that goes a long way. It's just, you have to believe. The first step is you believing in what you have to offer. Not only the products. Yes, okay, the products are important, but you have to believe in the business as a whole, and honestly in yourself. If you don't think you have something to offer someone, they're not going to think you have something to offer them either, and they're not going to sign up. So super important. Networking, that's the cornerstone of our business. You always want to be making friends. So I'm going to kind of start off with talking about how we network on social media. I know this is kind of an in-person call, but I've had so many people ask me about the not in-person stuff too. So we're just going to do it all and knock it all out today. So Instagram, social media, let's talk about that first. So some ways that you can find people on Instagram. Obviously, you're going to contact your warm market on there. They're going to see your post. Okay, that's not what this call is going to be about. So it's going to be more cold market. Really, I never want you guys to pitch your cold market. If someone's cold market, you should never be pitching them. You should be making them your warm market before you pitch them, and always growing your warm market. Super important. So some ways you can find people on Instagram. Well, for one, everyone should be on Bumble, using Bumble BFF. I just honestly started using it like 2 months ago. I don't know why. I've been kicking myself that I didn't do it sooner. There's just I've networked a lot in Vegas. When I go out, there's a lot of opportunities to do that, but still I should have been doing this way sooner. But connect with people on Bumble BFF and on other apps too. Those girls are actually like looking for friends and looking for connections, where if you just like meet people, like if you just message them on Instagram, they might not like really care or be like, why are you messaging me? You know? So use Bumble, but otherwise you can also search like locations. So when here in Vegas, we had a Monet event, this really cute coffee shop called Cafe Lola. So after I went there, I had posted like 3 pictures from that night, like on my feed. And I went to that business's like location, and I looked at other girls that have been there, and I messaged them, or I commented on their photo. I'd follow them, I'd like some of their photos, and I would go to their photo at that place, and I'd be like, oh my God, I was totally here last week. Isn't this place so cute? La la la, whatever. That's a way you can connect with people. So use the 3-2-1 method: 3 likes, 2 comments, and 1 DM, 1 follow. Some people say, I mean, obviously you should be following them, but 1 DM. And usually that can be like in the form of like a story response, or sometimes it can just be a comment. You know, you don't want to be like DMing them for no reason.
One thing a lot of girls are not doing that have boyfriends is not using the people they know. A lot of people that have signed up under Gabbi, I went to high school with them or knew them previously. And on some of these trips, like I've talked to guys and I'm like, oh, so have any of the people you knew previously signed up with your girlfriend? And they're all like, no, or like people don't even think about it. So, I mean, so many people I went to high school with now, like there's a whole team of girls that I went to high school with now under Gabbi. And it's like a whole warm market that you're not tapping into, because a girl that knew me from high school, they're going to be like, oh, well, it's RJ's girlfriend. Like, she's not going to rip me off. Or, you know, I know RJ is cool, so his girlfriend must be cool. So you should really be going through and seeing who, like, if you have a boyfriend, you know, like what girls could you recruit out of them? And also another story, one time, like we were at a bar and there's a girl sitting at the other side. I'm like, oh, I used to like date her or whatever. And Gabbi's like, text her right now, tell her to come over here. And I'm like, okay. So she comes over. They're hugging, talking, whatever, like the best friends. She hasn't signed up yet, but I mean, she probably will. But that, just don't count anybody out. And, you know, Gabbi's confident and everything, so she'll recruit anybody no matter what in person.
For sure, for sure. I think that a lot of girls aren't taking advantage of their boyfriends' markets. Honestly, even like if it's like some guy you're talking to or your ex-boyfriend, like, okay, thanks, like give me that market, you know, because that's your warm market now. Because if you are connected to that person in any way, essentially those people trusted you more, essentially, if they have a connection to you. So that's huge. Someone asked in the chat, do I do the 3-2-1 in one day? Yes, you can do the 3-2-1 in one day. Like, I like 3 photos. You can comment on 1, comment on 2, whatever. Like don't just comment random shit. Like, find something you connect with them on. Send them a DM, usually in form of a story response. So if you like, oh my gosh, your dress is so cute. But really, if you're looking up locations and hashtags and things like that where you can connect with them on, then you can actually like comment on a photo that they were there, or reply to a highlight when they were at that location. But the location should be somewhere where you have gone or somewhere where you will go. So like when we go to Florida to stay at his parents' condo, I looked up like places in the area. It's called Deerfield Beach. And so I looked up like Deerfield Beach, and like tons of beautiful girls are there. It's like they live on the beach, like it's close to Miami. And I just would follow someone and be like, oh my gosh, you're in the Deerfield area. We're coming to stay next week. What are some great things to do there? And all the girls were like, oh my gosh, welcome. Like, we should get together. And I'm like, great. Yeah, we should, you know? And you're always going to have the people that don't respond to you, and that's totally fine. You just know that through this process, everything you do, you're going to have about 50% of people not into it. Okay. Not everyone's going to be like, yeah, be my best friend. So you got to grow that tough skin and just get over it. Okay. So goals when you're actually talking to someone in a conversation with someone, when you're networking with them. I made a little, what's this called? Like an acronym? A little acronym for you guys. It's REP, rep. You want to get in your reps. So the first one's relate, the second one's evidence, and the last one's plant your seed. So these are the most important things when you're talking to someone, that you have to go through these steps if you want to eventually invite them to your business. You cannot invite them to your business without doing this stuff. So relate to them. Find something that you guys relate on. How you connect. What do you have in common? Be really excited, and find something that you guys have similar. And I think that's crucial. If you don't relate to someone on anything, I mean, you really shouldn't be recruiting them unless you knew them in the first place. But if they're cold market, you have to relate. That's the first step. The second thing is find evidence. So you have to have evidence in order to pitch someone. There's no way that you should be pitching something we all know all these girls that send cold messages, and that's why multi-level marketing companies have a bad reputation. They don't have any evidence on their potential that about why they need this business. And so that lack of relationship from relating and the lack of knowledge about that person's life, you don't even know if they need this.
And to go on top of that, that's why we never pitch cold market people we just met, because they're going to be like, oh, that's salesy. You don't even know anything about me. That's why we're just trying to make friends every time. We're just trying to make friends and relate to them. No, don't mention the business or anything at all. That'll all come later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you guys might think this is like, oh, how do I recruit people in my cold market? Well, this call is really about how to just make friends with those people first. And we'll touch on that, but that will come later down the road. Okay. So relate evidence, gather your evidence. What type of evidence you might be asking? You need to know where they work, where they live, where they're from. Do they have kids? Do they like their job? Do they like their husband or their boyfriend? Ask those questions, but obviously not in a way that's grilling them, but ask them through conversation. If they say they're from, if someone tells me they're from LA, I'll be like, oh my God, I love LA. Santa Monica is my favorite part. What part are you in? And it gives me some, what is that word? That's okay. I'll answer it after. It makes me, I can't think of the word. It makes me, reputable. Yeah. Credibility. It makes me have credibility because I'm relating to them. Oh, I've been there. I like that place, whatever. So go back and forth with those kinds of questions, find out that stuff about them. You're just getting to know them, you guys. You're just making friends with them. It's not that big of a deal. But you do want to make sure you're asking the right questions. I can't even think of a wrong question to ask. I don't even want to blur my mind with those bad questions, but you want to ask crucial questions too that will get you to information that you can pitch them with. Pain points. You're looking for pain points. Do they hate their job or hate where they live or not travel enough? Do they not have enough money? You want to get to the bottom of what their issues are, because this business can help anyone's issues. Okay. So find the pain points when you're finding evidence. The last thing is plant your seed. So this is really important. Okay, let me answer this before we go on here. See people asking, at what point do you consider those new people your warm market? What defines friend? Okay, I'll get into this. Let me go through this, and then after I'll tell you when I kind of pitch them too. How long do you message for until you bring up the business? Okay, yeah, same thing. So plant the seed. Okay, this is super important. I never, ever, ever, ever pitch the business in the first conversation. Don't do that. Then that's where people are like, oh, those network marketing girls, they're just in my DMs because they want my money, we don't want them to feel that way about us. And if you go into it thinking, I just want to make friends instead of I need to pitch them for my business, it's going to come off more genuine, and you want to be a genuine person anyway. I mean, think about you want to make these friends for your regular life too, not just for your business. The beauty of it is that your business pushes you and motivates you to do this, makes you grow your network, which is a really cool part of it. So planting the seed. Okay. This is huge. So one of the first things you do when you come into the business is you should make a planting the seed statement. And what this statement is you are planting the seed with this person about what you do, but you're not asking them to join. You're not asking them if they need a new business opportunity or if they need to try products. None of that. You're just talking about your life, just as if they would ask you about what do you do for work. If you worked in corporate America, you would say, well, this is my job. This is no different. You're saying this is my job, and that's how we're planting the seed. So this needs to happen early enough in the conversation, but also you don't want to just be springing it on them. But I see one of the biggest mistakes I see is this is not brought up early enough. If you don't talk about your business early enough, it's not something that's important to you. And so make sure you're asking the right questions too. Like I ask them, what do you do for work? And then I say, and then if they say, I do X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. And I'll be like, oh, that's so cool. Do you enjoy it? And if they don't ask me back, I will just put in my planting the seed statement. And then if they do ask me, great, they ask me. And so I can say my statement. Before I get into those statements, when you're messaging with people, make sure you're communicating how you would communicate in real life. And so how I communicate is I'm like, girl, how are you? What have you been up to? Like, oh my God, like I say OMG all the time. People know OMG, that's me. That's what I do. I'm very expressive. I'll do exclamation points. I'm very excited. But communicate however you communicate, and make sure the way someone reads your text is the way that you would speak it out loud. That's super important.
Or a lot of times she'll just send a voice message. I mean, that's going to be they can hear a voice and everything. And I mean, it's way better than trying to read a text, which can be like misinterpreted so easily.
So true. Voice memos are huge. So if you can get comfortable enough to start sending those voice memos, even if you mess up a little bit, it's better for them to hear your voice for sure. Okay, make sure your girls are creating a planting the seed statement from the very first day they come into the business, so they're prepared when someone asks you, what do you do for work? Or even in person, you're planting the seed statement can be the same in person or over text. So let's go into that for a minute. So I'm planting the seed statements. So two statements I like to say, usually for new girls coming into the business, I advise them to say, I run my own business, marketing and selling anti-aging beauty products, and I teach other babes to do the same. Super simple. And it gets to the point, whatever. Another one I like to personally say, when you actually grow a team and stuff, I feel like it's kind of weird to say that. Okay, let me just read it to you. I run my own business mentoring women on how to create an income from social media. We work with an anti-aging beauty company that's changing the industry. So sometimes I'll say that, but I feel like for girls coming into the business, you don't want them saying like, I'm mentoring other women if they're kind of like not really yet. And so you want it to fit the person that it is. You want to write your own statement. Let's see.
You should meet them in person.
A lot of girls ask me this. If you're building a relationship over DM, how long are you doing it for? Totally. It can go too long. I see this happen all the time. So not only do you need to plant your seed early on, but then just like let the conversation die, you guys. This doesn't need to be like 30 messages deep and you'd be like, oh, I have 100 DMs. Like, no, literally, I do my reps. I build a relationship just a little bit. I connect with them. I gather the evidence I need. This isn't very extensive. What do they do for work? Are they happy? Are they not happy? Whatever. Plant my seed and I move on. I leave it there. I leave the conversation. And then this is kind of what's coming. You guys are getting ahead of me here. But when after that, I save them to a folder and I will go to their page twice a week and I like their photos and comment on their photos and respond to their stories. Okay, so I'm continuing to build a relationship with them. And at one point in their posts, they're going to say something that is a pain point. They're going to say something like, oh, I had a shitty day at work today. Or they're going to post a quote that's like depressing or something. And you'd be like, girl, what's going on? What's up? And that's a point at which you can come in with, girl, you can work this business with me. And you've already planted your seed, so they know what you're talking about. A couple more things. Let me a little backtrack. I don't think I can read the comments, you guys, because you guys are getting ahead of everything I'm already saying. So let me go through everything and maybe just ask the questions at the end. Okay, so at the end of your planting the seed statement, you can add something that says, that tells what it's doing for you. And so you can say, I run my own business. I market and sell anti-aging beauty products, and I teach other women to do the same thing. And then say what it's done for you. I've been able to grow a network of inspiring and motivational women. I've really worked on myself and made myself a better person. I've fallen so in love with the products. I love sharing them with other people. I have so much more freedom in my life now, or I'm going to have so much more freedom. I get to work from home. So those things are so important because you are telling You are telling someone, you're evoking emotion, and you're giving them how you feel. And you guys, the feeling part, the emotional part, the connection part is really important. So yes, just leave it there. Leave it there. And then you want to, let's see, I want to stay on track here. Oh, keywords for your planting the seed statement. I run my own business. People respect that a lot. Okay. I run my own business. Social media. So be careful about this, because if you're talking to someone in person who is not necessarily on social media, you don't want to be like, my business is on social media, because they might get the idea that they can't do it too, which our business doesn't have to be on social media. It's just a tool that we utilize. But if you're on social media talking to someone, there's no reason you can't say it's a business on social media. Anti-aging beauty company or naturally based vegan beauty company. That's a keyword or key phrase. And then mentor others. That's something that is a big seller too, is helping other people. Okay. So you want to organize and keep track of everyone. You want to save their profile somehow. And the way I do this is I go on their page, and whatever photo I commented on, I save it. Like there's a little save button in the corner. And with that, I'll just save them to like a little album, and I go through there twice a week, comment on their recent photos, make sure I'm liking everything. Hopefully, like I go on and I see their story for the day, whatever. Usually I should be, maybe the bookmark, maybe that's what it is. At this point though, if you've been in their DMs, the algorithm is going to put your guys' stories first on each other's pages. So you shouldn't have to be like keeping up on their stuff, but just in case, make sure you're checking their page twice a week. Respond to their stories, connect with them in other ways. But yes, they're going to be posting about like pain points. They're going to tell you they had a shitty day, they hate their job. Most people have pain points, and they're not afraid to put them on social media. And so that's a time where you can swoop in, and you've already built that relationship, and you've already planted your seed. So they know what you're doing. They've been watching you. They've been watching what you're posting. This is why posting is so important, you guys. This is not a posting call, but if you're not posting you can burn this whole call. It literally, if you're not posting, that's the reason why we are doing all of this, is to get them to your Instagram to see what you're posting. Okay. Okay, keep relating to them. Keep gathering evidence. If you don't have all the evidence you need, you don't have to be cramming it all into the first conversation. Let it go naturally, you guys. Just be a normal human and talk to them how you would normally talk to them. Okay, so like I said, most of the time in conversation, maybe in that second or third or fourth conversation, they tell you something that's a pain point, or they post on their story, I had a really shitty day today. You might be like, girl, what's going on? She says, I hate my job. I hate my boss. I'm so sad. Or maybe she'll post, it was really hard to leave my kid this morning. Whatever it is, you can be like, girl, have you ever thought about working from home? Have you ever considered an income that you can earn from home? We should work together. I think you would slay with me because, and every time you need to make sure you tell them why they would be good at it. Okay. This is really important. If you just say, I think you'd be really good. Well, they're like, in their mind, they're like, oh my God, I would not be good. I could never do that. You know, we all thought that before we signed up for this. So give them a compliment, tell them why they would be good at it. Like, for example, they have a good social media presence, they're friendly, they have a big market, they have a lot of friends and family, they have good hair. Like when I came into this, I had good hair. That's like why the girl recruited me. It's kind of like, I had good hair. Why not sell the products? You know, it's nowhere near as good as it is now, but or maybe they have bad hair. Maybe they have terrible hair, and they can have an amazing transformation with this. Okay. That's some reason why they would be good at it. So you can say that to them, girl, have you ever thought about doing something like this? I think you should do this with me. I think we would do, you know, and you've already built the relationship a little bit. You don't need to be like full blown, like best friends. As long as you've connected with them, gathered your evidence, and planted your seed, this can come next. It just can't come in the same conversation. Okay. Make sure you feel comfortable enough with someone to where you can do that. If that doesn't happen, usually that happens for me. Most of my pitches come in natural conversation. That's what really works best, you guys. And I think it takes some time to learn that stuff, like to get comfortable with just like being like, girl, do this with me, you know? But, So be patient with that, but also that's important, why it's important to send screenshots to your upline, to your group chat, because we can tell you kind of how to, where to work that in, and we can work out what the pain points are. If that doesn't happen, as long as it's not in the first conversation, it's not like too soon, as long as you know why they would be good and why they need the business, their pain point, you can send them a message. You can say, hey girl, I've been really thinking about as someone who'd be perfect to do this with me. I think you'd be great at this because you have great social media, you have great hair, whatever. And I think it would really help you in this way. Maybe it's, maybe they don't like their job. Maybe they have no time with their kids. They want to go on vacation. They're poor. They have bills. They don't have any freedom. Maybe they're messaging you like, oh my God, girl, you go on so many cool trips. You know, that's something that they want to do. That's a pain point for them. So 2 key things you have to know before you pitch someone. How are they going to be good at it? Why are they going to be good at it? Because you have to inspire them and show them that. And why do they need it? What is their pain point? What can the business do for them? I literally never, ever, ever pitch someone unless I know those things. It's super important. And it's kind of like it's your building blocks within, it's how you can come back at them. When they give you excuses, you can be like, girl, but you need this because look at what you've posted or look at what you've told me. But if you don't have that, they can just be like, oh, it's not for me. And you have no idea why. Super important. Okay. Let's see. Another thing is they're always going to have like objections. So when you do say that to them, when you do pitch someone, there's always going to be a reason they don't want to do it. I mean, think about it. No one's just like, yeah, great, I'll do it. Like, yeah, sign me up right now. It literally never happens. Okay. So they're always going to say, oh, I don't really think it's for me. Okay. You have to ask them why. Girl, why do you think it's not for you? This is perfect for you. And you never want to leave it open to them. Like, do you think this is for you? No, girl, this is for you. You have to come at it like super confident like that, because if you leave it open for 1 second, they're going to be like, oh, nope, not for me. Nope.
And I just want to say something real quick. Gabbi wasn't always like this. When I met her, I'd be like, go talk to that girl at the club. Like, go talk to her. She has long hair. And she'd be like, no, I'm too scared. That's weird. That's so weird. That's so weird. And now she can just go up to girls and be like, you need this business because this, and this. And I mean, so
not just go up to them in person, but like analyze the situation.
But and in person too, just going up to anyone and talking to them. So if you're shy and too scared to do that now, she was like that literally before any of you knew her. She would be too scared to do that. So you see her now like, oh, it must have always been easy for her. But she had to work hard at just going up to random people.
That's so
and stuff
true.
like that.
That's really true. Like, I am really outgoing, like when I know people. But honestly, you guys, like, I was terrified to even come on this call. Like, now I feel good. Like, I'm in my group, whatever. But like, I'm no different than you guys. Like, I literally came from a town of 10,000 people. I had the same friends my whole life growing up. I went to college. I never made any friends. I didn't know. I felt like, ooh, it's weird. It's like dating. Like, ooh, like I didn't really know how to do that coming into this either. But you have to learn how to do it. It takes practice, you guys. You have to just start somewhere. And we're going to get to that basically right now. So like now in-person stuff is like my bread and butter. Like, I love communicating with people in person because I know that I'm really good at making people feel comfortable. Like, when they tell me something, I can be really empathetic or sympathetic. I'm like, girl, oh my God, like I can't imagine. It's not fake. Like, it's really me. Like, I'm really like that. I'm like, I can't imagine what you're going through. And I think that's a skill you guys have to make sure you learn too, is really, I don't even know what that's called. If you guys know what that's called, put it in the chat. Like, just being like, oh man, I know what you're going through, or I understand, just understanding them. I think that's huge. Yeah. Having empathy. Yeah, true. That's how you really connect to someone. Like, if someone says, this is what's going on, be like, oh man, you need this business. Like, no, you gotta be like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine what you're going through. Whatever, you get it. So yes, practice makes perfect. You guys, the conversations are going to be really awkward at first. I mean, maybe you're a natural at this, but a lot of us are not going to be. And so you have to know that like your first, like maybe even 10 conversations are going to be weird. You're going to be like, oh, cool hair, dude. Like, it's going to be weird. Okay. So you just have to start somewhere, and then just know, like, you'll probably never see them again. It's not that big of a deal, whatever. Literally, you guys, before we do that, so I'm going to talk about in person now. Sorry, I'm getting all over the place. Don't be scared of this. Don't be intimidated by it. You just have to do it. You just have to do it. This is for your business, but it's also for your whole life. Like, you know how many areas of my life have benefited from my business motivating me to talk to people who those people have not bought products from me, but now I have all these amazing connections of people that offer me something that I didn't have before. That's huge. But literally, before I talk to people in person, most of the time, it's like when we go out or something, I have a drink. I'll drink something, okay? Liquid courage is really important. If you don't drink, then you got to find something that's going to give you that courage that you need. Don't overdo it. This is why most leaders say, don't go out. You can't go out. You need to stay in. Honestly, I laugh when people say that, but it's because most girls go out and they just go out with the same people. They just get really messed up and they don't work their business. I want you guys to go out. Please start going out more, because that's the way you're going to network, you guys. That's so important. You need to go out. Don't stay in this weekend. Go out, go to the club, go to the bar, go take a friend and go recruit. Go talk to people about your business.
Like when we go to a music festival, let's say Coachella or EDC, it's 3 days. We'll probably get 60 girls' Instagrams, like 20 a day. And people will be like, oh, you guys are just partying, whatever. Gabbi's not working, whatever. Okay, we just made 60 face-to-face connections. How long would it take some other people to make 60 face-to-face connections? Maybe their whole life, after you're not in college anymore. So you have to be going out and meeting people face-to-face, because just meeting people on Instagram is great and all, but when literally girls meet Gabbi and us meet face-to-face, and then they sign up the day after the festival, and someone on Instagram is just going to be a lot more skeptical than if you've been in face-to-face.
Totally. And I think that, honestly, you guys, even when I do the whole 3, 2, 1 and I do the reps and whatever, I still have a hard time closing people. Some people are better at this, but what my strength is in person. So regardless of what happens on Instagram, I still have to get them in person. So you guys have to know this is not a part of the business that you can skip at all. You have to meet people in person always, whether that's the first connection that you've met them, or it's you've built a relationship on social media and you're going to schedule a meetup. Okay, so yes, please go out this weekend. Go out with someone. Don't have too many drinks, but set a goal for yourself that of how many Instagrams you want to get. Okay. Set a goal for yourself. So usually, if we go out, it's my goal to get 10 Instagrams. What in the world? Okay, I'm muting people, Asley, come on. Okay, set a goal for yourself. Once you've completed that goal, then you can not worry about it. But honestly, at the same time, it's almost like I'm not even okay, I need to prospect now. I'm literally just always prospecting. I literally, every time I go out, every time I go out, you can type it. Every single time I go out, I'm lurking. I'm on the prowl. Who would be good? Oh, this is not working. I'm who would be good? I don't know, it's not working. Someone share RJ's Instagram. He's trying to share his Instagram. It's not working. It's RJ is on Jupiter. Anyway, every single time I go out, I'm on the prowl for people. And RJ is too. He'll be like, look at that girl over there. Her hair's really long. And I'll be like, okay, let's casually walk over there. You have to always you're always working your business, you guys. It's not this is a thing you turn off and on. This is a lifestyle. This is a commitment that we make.
If we're at a bar and I see a guy wearing a Steelers shirt, I want to be like, hey man, go Steelers. My dad's from Pittsburgh, whatever. And I'll go up to him if he's with a group of girls or whatever. And then it's oh, then we're just all talking to all of them. We just find one thing to relate about them. And that's one big thing is sports. I mean, even if you see a girl, whatever, wearing any team, just be like, oh, I like them too. And then they already, are going to be like, hey, what's your name? And then, oh, what's your Instagram? And you can leave right after that. You already did the work. They're going to see what your life's all about on Instagram if you're posting.
Yeah, I think that's like the part that that's the thing that people don't know how to do, is how to get into the conversation. So just like we do on Instagram, you guys, this is literally no different. When you respond to a story and you're like, oh my God, your dress is so cute, your dog's so cute. Obviously the dog's not going to be at the club, but you know, like their dress, compliment what they're wearing. Or be like, girl, your boots, oh my God, those are so fire. Where did you get those? Okay, it's literally as simple as that. Yes, it's gonna be awkward the first couple times you do it. It's gonna come out weird. But find something that you really like, or is something that makes you you. Like for RJ's family is like really into sports, and we love the Seahawks, and his family loves the Steelers because his dad's from Pittsburgh. So anytime he sees anyone wearing sports gear, he'll talk to them. Well, usually if it's like a boy with a girl, usually we don't waste our time on just dudes that are with other dudes, because then who am I going to recruit? But anyone's sports, if you like sports and someone's wearing something sports related, say something, okay? Just say something to them. And then for me, who I connect with the most, people are going to welcome your conversation more if they feel like they relate to you, like physically, like how you look. And I know that sounds bad, but like I connect with girls that are tall. For those of you who don't know, I'm 5'11". I'm really tall. And especially when I go out and I wear heels, oh my God, I'm like giant, okay? And so when I see other girls that are like 5'9" and above, I'm like going right over there, okay? I'm like, oh my God. Sometimes you guys really, I say this, I'm like, tall girl squad. And I know it sounds like literally the stupidest thing ever, but when you've had a couple of drinks and when they've had a couple of drinks, it's like literally tall girl. Like it's this crazy connection that we have because literally we've always been called giraffes our whole life. Okay. So find what you connect with someone on. Like, okay, Sandra, if you're 5 foot, then you better be talking to all the short girls in there. Okay. You guys connect on a different level. This sounds bad. I don't want it to sound bad, but I don't go over to a group of short girls to be like, hey guys, they're gonna be like, who is this tall ass girl? You know, like talk to who you relate to. Okay. And then also I always go up to girls who have long hair, always who have long hair. Aaliyah says she flocks to blondes when she's out, okay? They flock to you. Think about it. If you're attracted to them right away, they're attracted to you also. You guys have something in common. So that's really important to go for like your market. Like know your market and who you need to approach. It makes the conversation so much easier if that off the bat you have that connection. Okay, literally not even following my notes at all. So let me just make sure I'm covering everything here. Okay, so something I have in here. So start in the bathroom. Oh yeah, journey, girls with curls. If someone has really curly hair, love it. Actually, I have connected with someone like that before. I had my hair natural, and I was at this event, and a girl had the exact same hair as me, and it was blonde. And I was like, oh my God, like we have the same hair. And she was like, oh my God, I have been staring at your hair and wondering how the heck we have the same hair. Whatever, okay? It literally can be anything, but try to make it something you have in common. Okay, the bathroom. You guys, the bathroom is like the token place to meet people, okay? Because the key to the bathroom is that girls are by themselves and not with their friends. Yeah, sometimes they're with their friends, but groups of people are harder to penetrate than just people by themselves. So every single time I go to the bathroom, like when I'm walking into the bathroom, like if I see someone behind me, like I literally slow. I'll like literally slow so that they can catch up to me. So potentially I could be like, oh my God, your shirt's so cute, whatever. If there's a line in the bathroom, I always talk to the person in front of me. Okay. Even if, so I know I said, find some people you connect on, but if it's like, if they're right there, talk to them, you know? So then in the bathroom, like when I come out, when I wash my hands, whatever, I'll literally go to wash my hands by someone that I want to talk to, that maybe I connect with. And I'll just be like, oh my God, your hair is so pretty. And she'll be like, oh my God, thank you so much. And then I'll just be like, where are you from? I live in Vegas, so there's always people here not from here. If you live in a small town, it might be kind of weird. Be like, where are you from? Obviously, they're gonna be like, I'm from here, or I live here, whatever. Everyone here like doesn't live here, like when I go out. So it's a huge recruiting technique.
So like when we're at a festival or a club, I swear anytime I'm waiting for Gabbi outside the bathroom, she always comes out of the bathroom with a group of 2 or 3 girls laughing. Oh, look who I just met. Like almost every single time. So like everyone should be doing it.
Seriously. No, seriously. Like when we were at when we were just that day in Vegas, it's a music festival here. This girl was like standing right next to the blow dryer. So, I mean, not blow dryer, the hand dryer. And I go to dry my hands and like, she's just standing like awkwardly looking at me. And I was like, hey, like, you're so cute. Like your hair's pretty. She's like, oh my God, you are too, whatever. She was like all over it. And I was like, who are you here with? Like, we should hang out. My boyfriend's like waiting for me. She was like, oh, my friends are out there. Let's go meet them. It was literally that easy. Like that easy. And I walked out with them and we spent the entire night with them. They hung out with us the whole time, you know? So you got to like also like see how the conversation's going too. Like if they're like not into it, like don't pursue it and just be like, have a good night. If they're like kind of into it, get their Instagram. So usually I'm like, we should connect on Instagram. I'd love to follow you. And then I have them put in my Instagram into their phone. I'm like, here, let me give you mine. And honestly, they don't even think twice. They put in my Instagram and they follow me. It defeats the purpose if you're like, hey, let me get your Instagram. And they put their Instagram on your phone, you follow them, and then they don't follow you back. It defeats the entire purpose of the conversation.
And so like, this is a tip for like all of your guys' boyfriends or husbands, but like when she's in the bathroom, I'm still working too. Like all the time she'll come out and I'll be with a group of like 5 or 6 girls like, oh, look at who I just met. I mean, or even for you guys waiting for your friends in the bathroom, like always be looking for other friends, waiting for their friends for the bathroom or for food. Like at Hard Summer, I wanted to order food at a different place than Gabby, so she was a little bit far out of the way. And I see a bunch of girls and like, oh, are those tacos really good? Like, I don't know what to order. And then it's like, oh, they're amazing or whatever. And I was like, oh, my girlfriend's in the bathroom. Like once we're here by ourselves, like once we order, where are you guys gonna be? Like we'll come eat with you guys. I'm like, yeah, sure. And we ended up meeting 5 girls from Germany. Which Monet's not in Germany yet, but when it is, like we have 5 girls that we met face to face. And then another time at a club, like I'm just waiting for Gabby and a girl comes up to me like, hey, you're really cute. My friends want to meet you. Can I introduce you? And I'm like, I have a girlfriend, but I mean, we're always down to meet new people. So yeah. And Gabby comes out of the bathroom and there we go. There's 4 girls' Instagrams just like that.
Yeah. So that's what we do all the time. He's working and I'm working. And so I think like, I know some of you like probably don't have boyfriends or whatever, but you can do this like with a friend too, or like have someone that you do Monate with that you can go out together and you guys can tag team it, you know, like it's important to have someone else that's this on board and like as supportive and honestly this educated. You guys, like he listens to calls with me and he's like, oh my God, we're going to be, he's like, I could run your onboardings. Mo neighborhood, I got it. Like, you know, like getting in them really involved is important too. But anyway, back on track. So bathroom, you want to compliment them, give them a compliment. And they'll be like, oh my gosh, where are you from? Or find a question that you say every single time. So it's just systematic. Like this is what you do every time. I say, oh my gosh, where are you from? They'll say, oh my God, I'm from LA. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. Like we love Santa Monica. What part are you from? Or like, what brought you to Vegas? And then whatever, I'll get their Instagram. We should connect on Instagram. If they're like really nice and like asking me questions to them, like we should hang out. Like who are you with? And then we'll keep the relationship going. But of course too, I still want to get their Instagram like as soon as I can. We should connect on Instagram. It's so casual. And honestly, you guys, everyone connects on Instagram these days. Remember that your Instagram is your business card. It's literally your business. So like you have to make sure that they follow you. That's the whole point. If they're not into it, whatever, they're like, dude, who are you? That's fine. Don't do it. But if you're having a good conversation, they have to follow you on Instagram.
And a good tip when you're out and you get their Instagram, screenshot it right away.
Or send it.
Screenshot it or send it to someone else because maybe you were drinking and you can't remember or whatever. Or if someone puts their phone number in your phone, always just screenshot it so you can remember.
Yeah. And so I always literally every time I get an Instagram, it's on their profile or whatever, I click share profile and I send it to RJ. That way it's like in our DM. I have heard of like DMs like disappearing though. So maybe screenshot it too. I have done that actually, like at a festival when you have no service, I'll screenshot their post. And then literally like after the weekend, I have like, I don't know, 40 to 60 like screenshots and I'll just go through and follow all of them. But if you do that, make sure you go through and you message every single person after, hey, it was so good to meet you this weekend. Hopefully we can connect again soon. Let's see. And then I'll ask him another question, like, what do you do for work? Or something like that. Like, you can keep the conversation going, but always follow up after you initially got their Instagram. All right. Hold on. I think that's that. Yeah, go ahead.
Another tip, like if we're at the beach or a festival, like sharing with people, they automatically like you. So for those of you that like smoke weed, we'll be at a festival or whatever, always with extra joints. You go up, you can literally see a group of like 10 girls, whatever. Hey, do you guys want to smoke? And they'll all be like, yeah. And then they're going to be standing with them for 10 minutes. You're going to get all their names, know everything about them, get all their Instagrams. And then you can like, this can work on the beach, or like a festival is the best place. But I mean, if you live in Seattle or anywhere where it's legal, it's much easier.
Don't do anything illegal, you guys.
Yeah, or I mean, even alcohol. If you're on the beach, you just go up to group of people. Hey, you guys want a drink? Like, we got all this alcohol we can't finish. And people are always like, "Wow, you guys are really nice."
Yeah, if you have something to offer someone, that's like ideal. So like, we'll just like roll a bunch of joints and like. I don't really smoke that much weed, but like whatever, it was enough to go around, and we'll just share with people. And seriously, like if you share weed with someone, they're like, wow, you're so cool. Especially if they're like from out of town and they like, it's not legal where they live. We live in Vegas. Okay, calm down everyone. It's legal here. But we're from Seattle too. So it's legal there too. So we're used to it being legal. And seriously, they're like, they love you after that. So that's a really good tool. Is like offer them something. Like, don't be offering any crazy drugs or anything. I'm not trying to take this out of control, but you guys get it. Okay. Other ways to approach people when you're out. So you can, if you're at the bar, like getting a drink, try to like stand by someone who you want to talk to, or casually walk by. So like RJ's like, ooh, she has really good hair. We'll just like act like we're casually walking by and I'll be like, oh my God, your hair is so pretty. Okay, guys, it's like really simple. If I'm like really feeling confident, I'll literally just walk right up to someone and I'm like, girl, you are so pretty, you know, like, but make sure you're natural. Like you're you know, make sure you're not like, hey, like weird. Like I'm like really outgoing when I'm out, especially if I'm like drinking a little bit. Like I overdo it. And I know that sometimes people are like, what the fuck? But like at the same time, if you underdo it, like that's even worse. Okay. So don't be afraid to be like, girl, you got it going on. You know, like when someone says that to you, you're like, okay.
But again, let me remind you guys, she wasn't always like this. We used to be somewhere and I'd be like, go tell that girl her hair's pretty. And it would literally be just two girls like in the mall. She wouldn't do it. She'd be too scared. So all of you maybe too nervous to be doing like just doing all these things. Like you could literally be there in a year. Like she's only been signed up less than 2 years. But literally even just a year ago, she was still too scared to go up to people in public.
Yeah, so we're almost done here. A couple points, like a couple don'ts. Don't try to talk to someone in passing, like when they're walking by you. That can be really awkward. Like, oh, hey, just like stop where you're going and talk to me. I'm a random person you don't know. Don't do that. Don't try to penetrate large groups. It can be really weird. And like the more people they're with, it's like the more rude they think they can be to you. And so let smaller groups of people are better. That's why the bathroom works really well. Know your market, know who you relate with and who you want to approach. For me, it's tall girls and it's people with good hair. Girls with long hair, not necessarily good hair, long hair, because I have long hair. Let's see. And then if the conversation's like going well, you want to do the same thing that you did on Instagram. You want to get the reps in. So the relationship building, the evidence, and you can plant the seed too. I think it's important to never pitch them, just like we on Instagram. Don't pitch them in the first time you meet them or talk to them ever. But it's important to plant the seed. So I'll ask them, what do you do for work? And they'll ask me. And I can say the same statement I said on Instagram in person. But then that's it. You know, if they ask me about it, great. If they don't, then I move on with the conversation. Another thing, if they ask you about it, like on Instagram, if someone asks you about your business, send a screenshot so you can get help through those conversations. Okay. In person too, like if someone asks you for more information, you can be like, we should set up a time to talk this week. Okay, so you kind of avoid having to talk about it in person if you get a little bit nervous, especially if you're new. I mean, eventually at some point you need to start doing that. But if you're new, be like, we should set up a time to talk this week. I'd love to talk with you more about it. And then you can get your upline on it. But really important, anyone who's important, get them on a 3-way call with your So get those reps in, get the relationship, the evidence. The same thing as on Instagram, you guys. This is like, this all the same. The only difference is how, really is all the same, really. Where they live, where are they from, where do they work, do they enjoy it? The goal is to get the Instagram, okay? The most important part of recruiting and in network marketing is you. You are the money maker, okay? So I just want to like kind of conclude with this. Like, you have to know that like someone can sign up for this with someone else. Someone can buy products from someone else. Why are they going to buy them from you? What sets you apart? You have to be the most excited, the most confident. Even if you aren't, you guys got to fake it. You got to find it somewhere within yourself to be that person, okay? I know it can be hard when you first start out, but it takes practice. Just like with anything. You don't learn how to ride a bike overnight. You're not going to learn how to do this business and recruit hundreds of market partners overnight either. You have to work at it, okay? So what differentiates you? What makes you you? What do you have to offer to that person? How can you help them? How can you change their life? That's what's really important here is you. So I wanted to tell you guys this too. Like, it's not like I've recruited hundreds of people doing this. Okay. Like, I'm AED, I'm a director in the company, and these are my numbers. I've recruited 15, I've signed up 15 VIPs from cold market. Okay. Just 15. Like, to me, that's like, fuck yeah, 15. Okay. But like, I've sold products to 15 VIPs that were cold market. So people that I met on social media, that I met in person. These aren't people that were referrals. They aren't people that knew RJ. No one like that. They're legit cold market people. So 15 VIPs and 22 market partners. So in January, it'll be 2 years. So almost 2 years I've been doing this, which I really didn't do cold market my first 5 months in the business. So basically 1 whole year, I've recruited 22 girls cold market. Okay. So it's not like it's hundreds of people. Like, if you get one girl, that's a win, you guys. If you get one cold market person, that's a win. So just know that like, it's not anything crazy. Like, I've recruited 22 cold market girls, and those girls are the same as any other market partner. Some produce and some don't, and that's okay. You have to know, honestly, for every 10 market partners you bring into the business, maybe one will do anything. And that's just the way it goes. So you have to really recruit and really keep consistent doing this, you guys. The consistency is what's really important.
And the more people you recruit, the less you'll be caught up on one person. A lot of girls that aren't meeting new people and they're stuck, they're like, keep telling Gabbi, oh, I have these three people. Oh, now I have these 2 people. And it's like 2, 3 people, that's it. Like, forget about them. I mean, don't forget about them. If they want to come, they'll come. You need to go out and start meeting new people.
For sure. The last thing I want to say, you guys can start asking questions if you guys want. We're good to like chill for a little bit if you guys want to keep going. Just a reminder that one market partner can bring you it brings you a whole new market. Okay. When you sign up a market partner, literally their entire market becomes your warm market. Essentially, it's their warm market, but you're going to help them. And all of those people you can potentially bring into the business. So just know, like, my top girl, Allie Pilkington, she was not my level 1. I recruited a girl that all the girl did was recruit Allie. She never signed up one customer. She never made one sale. She signed up one market partner, and it was Allie. Okay. And now she's my top girl in the business. So know that when you talk to people, one market partner can change your whole business. So don't count anyone out. Like, even if you think someone's not going to be great in the business, I do not care. I will sign them up anyway, because their sister could be a freaking rock star. Okay.
Business cards.
Is giving business cards out after combo? No, I don't do business cards. I ordered 500 business cards. I probably gave out 150, 200, and I literally never had anyone contact me from a business card. And maybe they followed me on Instagram, but no one ever.
Instagram is the new.
Your Instagram is your business card, you guys. So that's why it's so important to get them to follow you. Plus, they can see your faces. If you give them a card, they're just gonna be whatever. It's gonna get lost in their purse. It's gonna get lost in their car, whatever. And if they see your Instagram, they can see your face. They can see you speaking and communicating and talking about your business. Really important. Your Instagram is your business card. When people ask what you're doing for work, do you only talk about Monat, even if you're working a full-time job? No, you guys, be real. Like, if someone says, what do you do for work, and you have another job, you want to say that other job. Like, and a way you can phrase it is if you don't like your job very much, which I think is the case for most people, I didn't like a regular job, you can say, I do X, Y, and Z for work, but on the side, I market and sell naturally based hair care, or okay, sorry, we're all beauty products now. I market and sell anti-aging beauty products. And that's kind of my fun gig that I get to do. I get to connect with other women that way. And it's honestly, it's my fun thing, you know, make it like my job. Oh yeah, this is my job, but what's my fun thing? And like the thing that I get excited about and the thing that I want to do long-term, then you can say both of those things. And honestly, like if someone asks you like, how are you? Or what have you been up to? You can be like, well, this is what I've been up to. I just moved into a new place. I just started this new job and I'm working a side hustle. I run my own business from my Instagram now. It's been really amazing because I get to share products I love with other people. Okay. You're planting the seed statement. It doesn't have to just be Monet. It should be everything that makes you, you. Okay. Let's see. Is it go up to here?
Someone asked if you finished your CPA.
Have I finished my CPA? I haven't done my work experience yet for my CPA because I don't want to. Honestly, I've passed all 4 tests of the CPA, but I have to go work for 2,000 hours or something, a year's worth of 40 hours a week. And that literally sounds like hell to me because I sit at home with this guy and I work this business and I sell hair products. Like what? That's way better, you know, and we travel and we do whatever we want. I don't want to have to be tied down to a full time. So there's no time limit on when you can do the work experience for your CPA. So, I mean, maybe I'll do it one day, maybe I won't. Who knows? In 3 years, I could be making millions of dollars doing this and I'll never even think about a CPA. You know, that's the goal, honestly. Okay. What's a good way to bring up the business to women just playing at the park with their kids without seeming weird? Dude, if you have a kid, oh my God, your life's way easier, okay? Your kid, just somehow get your kid to play with their kid, which that might be harder than I'm estimating. But if you can get the kids to interact with each other, then just be like, oh my God, they're so cute. Where are you guys from? Or do you guys live in the area? So easy. Does anybody have any other questions? Any questions for RJ? I feel like a lot of people have questions for RJ, like for partners and stuff. Everyone's good. Well, this had a really good turnout, you guys. I'm really happy with how this went and everything. How do you know when you're wasting your time? In like what way? Like you think they won't be a good potential or they won't sign up?
Just kind of if you're talking to a guy, you just get the vibe like, oh, they're not into me. Like you just know, I guess.
So true. What got RJ excited to work with you and help you recruit? Lots and lots of money. When we first listened to calls that Jackie would do, like, I don't know, we saw one of Jackie's paychecks and it was really big, and he from there listened to calls and stuff and he was like, holy crap. And like ever since the beginning, he's just been really involved. And I think that's really important is like, if your partner is like, what is this pyramid scheme thing? Get them on calls like this, you know, they can see this is real life stuff that we're doing here. It's not like some crazy thing or anything. I mean, as a paramedic in the ER, how should he tell his coworkers about my business? I mean, I don't know. However, he could be
just like go out to dinner with him and like don't make it about the business. Just find a way to meet him socially, and then it'll come.
Yeah, like I'm sure that like people are having Christmas parties and stuff. Like when at Christmas parties, that's a way that you can connect with people. Like just make friends. You guys focus on friends first. That's really important.
People keep always telling guys, oh, I need new market partners. Before you get new market partners, you have to have new friends, because no one's just gonna be a market partner out of nowhere. Like you have to make friends with people first. So instead of saying I can't get any new market partners, well, how many new friends have you made lately? And that's probably gonna tell you why you're not getting any new market partners.
Christina, can you go over Bumble? Should we put Monet as our job? Honestly, no. When you first start out, best advice when you first start out is do not like pretend like you aren't selling anything. I still actually do. I don't know why I didn't touch on this on the call, you guys. It's more like with posting, I guess. But like I pretend like I'm not selling anything. I just talk about the product, like how much I love it, and that's what brings people in. And I think that's super important when market partners first start out, never saying things like, do you need new products, or do you need a new business opportunity, or join my team, or guys, like that's what people turn away from. The second they feel like they're selling something, they run for the hills, or that you're selling something and you're trying to sell them something, they're gone. You've lost them. So really important, not only to keep the curiosity alive, don't say Monate, don't say what you're doing, but don't talk about selling anything. I think that's super, super important. I still do it. Like today, for example, I posted about how amazing it is that we live in Vegas and it was 75 degrees and the sun was on my face, and I just feel so grateful. I get to be at home in the middle of the day. And I literally had a girl message me from Bumble that said, girl, I don't know how you do it. I could never work from home, but I seriously commend you. She's like, I would seriously love to do that. And I was like, I didn't even say I work from home. I never said once I'm working. I said I love being at home in the middle of the day. And so that's what's really important about like posting and stuff. Like get them to follow you on your Instagram. They're going to be seeing all this stuff that you can't physically even tell them. They'll be seeing in your posts. But yeah, don't say you're selling anything. Like the first year, I literally didn't say Monate ever. Like in conversation, if they ask, that's one thing, but like, don't put that as your job anywhere. Like, don't say it in conversation. Don't put it in your posts, nowhere. The curiosity is everything because it's your leverage in the situation. If they don't know what you're doing, they have to ask you. They have to ask you. And that literally was the reason for my success in the beginning, is like, I had so many people after. This wasn't immediate either. After probably 6 weeks to 2 months to 3 months to 4 months is when I had the most people finally being like, okay, what is it, this thing that you're doing? What are the hair products you're using? I have to know, your hair looks so good. And if I would have once said Monate, I never would have known that they were interested. They could have just Googled it and saw, oh, bad review. I don't want to use it. And I never would have known they were interested. So you want to be the person to first present them with the information about the company and about the business. And that's the reason why we don't say the name. With the Bumble, literally same thing. I'm just like, oh, so good to meet you. So good to connect with you. I get them on Instagram right away. I'm like, let me follow you on Instagram. I don't want this message to expire. I say, follow me on Instagram, send me a DM. If they don't do that, then whatever, bye. I don't need you anyway. Like, I make them do the work for me. You follow me, send me a DM, okay? If they're not willing to do that, then they're probably not going to be good in the business anyway. And I don't really want them as my friend, okay? And then when you get them on Instagram, hey girl, so good to connect with you. I'm so glad we matched on there. Where are you from? Do you live in the area? Whatever. And then try to just build the friendship the same way.
Try to meet them in person. Like, don't just keep messaging back and forth. Be like, oh, sorry, free tomorrow for lunch or whatever. Like, you gotta show you're serious and you're willing to meet them in person. Like, this is a real business.
Honestly, like someone asked about selling guys products. I don't have that many I don't have any guy VIPs, and RJ doesn't have any hair, and he doesn't like to grow his hair. He has hair. He uses the product, but can't really tell. So sorry, I'm no help on that one. Gabby, what's your Insta? Okay, thanks for sharing it. It's Hoscat, HOSCAT. After you ask the moms if they live around there, because I do that, introduce myself, how would you plant the seed? You don't need to talk about the business. Just literally get their Instagram, have them follow you.
If they don't have Instagram, maybe Facebook or even their number and be like, let's have another play day, or when are you going to bring your kid back here again?
We should schedule lunch together, but I mean, you have to talk enough to them to make them feel comfortable. Honestly, if someone doesn't have social media, like they might not be great at the business anyway. Like not that you shouldn't recruit them at all, but like that's just like a whole nother challenge that maybe you just shouldn't focus as much on them if they don't have social media. Try to connect with them and get their phone number, but they shouldn't be like a serious prospect for you. If they're not even on social media to begin with, they probably don't want to be. So posting on a daily basis would make a difference, or there should be a balance with word of mouth. I post daily about myself and my brand. So think about what the 5 things about you are: my cats, living in Vegas, my boyfriend, like young party lifestyle. That's the lifestyle that I live and what I put on my social media. With those things, I post at least 5 times a day about those things. Then I post about the business. Like I has a general rule for girls every other day about the business, every other day. So if today you post about like doing a boomerang, my hair is so shiny, yay. I'm so glad I made the switch to naturally based products, whatever. In 2 days, you can post about the business. So excited that my side hustle income is paying for my coffee this morning. Okay, that's going to bring in a market partner. So try to alternate your posting. This is not about posting, but Maybe I should do a posting video too. 5 times a day about you, every other day about the business. You can do every day about the business too, but you just don't want to do overkill. And you don't want to say things like, join my team, or you need these products. You know, if you're just acting like you're sharing about how much you love it and what it's doing for you, that's what's going to draw interest. I'm just reading the comments.
Is it
Oh, Bumble.
Maybe both.
New friends or networking? I feel like that's the same thing. I honestly don't know.
Is your account set that like the price set?
I don't know.
Maybe it's set for both, like in a setting.
New friends or networking, that's really the same thing. I think it's business or new friends. I just put it as new friends because I don't want people to think I'm like trying to pitch them. Do you have an FB group like for VIPs? Yeah, I have a Facebook group for my VIPs, but if I want to talk to them about the business, I'll just message them personally. Usually I pitch all of them the business because they all love the products already, so why not? Yeah, I love that. Don't mention the business in the first conversation. I mean, if you don't have to, if they ask what you do for work, then you can mention it, but never pitch them, never ask them if they need it or anything like that. Lots of moms like to drink wine together after a stressful day. I love that. Honestly, a lot of moms need to connect with each other. They need a friend. They need someone there for them. So connect with them. Okay. Sorry, I'm literally just trying to get through all these messages. Have you hosted events? Yeah, events are huge. You guys host as many events as you can. Get people over. Get the product on as many people's heads of hair as you can. But also just like when you meet people in person like that and you invite them over and you treat them, that's what really helps.
Like we had a new AAA baseball team open in Vegas. So I got 20 tickets for a good price. And then Gabbi gave them out to her market partners and then they could give them to their potentials. And it was like $15 a ticket. So look at, if you live in a small town, maybe single A, double A, triple A baseball, or if you can afford Major League Baseball, like Seattle Mariners tickets are sometimes $15. Buy a bunch of tickets and invite people. I mean, who's going to turn that down?
Yeah, and I actually just like made them pay for it too. Not all of them, but like when the game happened, we got 20 tickets in one section. And then I just like had 4 market partners that could come. And I said, each of you, like, I'll give you each one free ticket, but then you need to pay for the tickets for your market partners to come. So whatever, if you have 2 people come, you're paying $30 for the game. That's like nothing to have a little recruiting event. So yeah, use events to your advantage. Is honestly, you guys, the more that you get people in person, show them your personality and connect with them like face to face. It's huge. It's everything. Okay, awesome. Oh, how do you promote events like casual lunch? Okay, literally I take people to lunch or coffee all the time. I'm less about the big events because I don't like counting on a lot of people to come, and I'm more about like the one-on-one, let's get lunch, let's get coffee type of thing. And most people who I'm talking to will be like, yeah, I'd love to. Some of them I've never even talked to about the business before. I'm just like, yeah, let's go get coffee. And honestly, most of the time, if you've been posting and being consistent, they know what you're doing and they will ask you about it when you see them in person. They'll literally be like, so what is this hair thing that you do? And you're like, well, thank you for asking.
Like, don't ask them like, hey, do you want to get coffee so we can talk about the business? Just forget about the business at all. You just have to be their friend. Mm-hmm. Be like, just always when you want to ask someone to hang out, or if you're having a little party, like, just don't even mention the business because that'll like scare people away. Like if we're like, oh, we're going to have wine and wash your hair, like people get scared for some reason or something. But if you're just like, come over,
they don't want to be sold to.
Yeah,
people don't want to be sold.
Come over and let's drink. Okay, everyone's gonna come, and then they're gonna, we might be like, oh, we want to try my hair products.
Yeah, honestly, like if we have friends over, I have like my big shelf of like hair products. So make sure your products are always like out somewhere if you have someone over. People will be like, wow, these are so beautiful. I'm like, oh my God, I know. I'm like totally obsessed with them, blah, 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 and we just start talking about it naturally. Or when I go to lunch with someone, they literally will ask me about it. Like, what is this thing you do? I'd love to hear more about it. And even before I was at this point, you guys, like obviously the business is obvious in my life now, but like even a year ago when I'd be like, let's meet up, let's go to lunch, I was still consistently posting enough about it to where they would ask me about it. And just talk about it, you guys. Just talk about what it's doing for you, why you like it, why you started. You don't have to know the essential oils in our products or the compensation plan or anything. You just have to know what it means to you and why you like it. So yeah, let's be done now. I know I'm taking up your guys' whole night. I really appreciate all of you guys getting on. I hope this was helpful. Love you all so much. Bye.